भालेराव सर, हॅलो.
येस मॅम.
आपण सुरू करूयात कारण मग अजून पुढे उशीर होईल नाही तर.
ओके, चालेल चालेल.
होतात का मुलं जॉईन त्याच्यामुळे, आणि आहे मी इकडे करेन त्यांना.
ओके चालेल. Very special good afternoon. So we are going to start with today first practical session. That one is nothing but the various string operation. So to understand that particular string, what is actually string is. So in a string is nothing but the collection of characters. But now there are two different concepts. One is a string, another one is a character array. So we are only going to understand the basic concept initially. So this particular one is an array of characters. So character word, I have just created one array. When I'm going to get a character, that time that character is always represented in a single quote. Now what I mean by the single quote? The single quote is nothing but it's going to represent character in terms of ASCII. ASCII is nothing but American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So we know already this particular one is H is now a character. Now this one is hello is a character array. Okay. To print this particular character array, we are going to use the conversion specifier %C. Even to scan the character array, we are going to use conversion specifier %C. And always we are going to prefer for loop or while loop to scan the character array. Okay, so we can process those, we can do the various processing, we can copy, we can concatenate, means we can append to arrays. So you need to have the actual length of character array in a separate variable. So we can easily observe, I have said here character word square bracket. Till this particular point, when we are going to say that array, so array needs a size, but now just see here I haven't represented the size here. So in this particular case, it's automatically going to select the size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number of characters size will be put here automatically. Okay. The second main important thing here, now that one is character array and second one is character string. So string is a special thing, and the main important thing here is dealing with the character array. In a string, we are going to deal with the character array without having to worry about the precise how many characters. So here we need to measure, and in this particular case, there is no special character at the end. So it is very hard to count those characters. But in a string, there is one special character which is appended at the end of the array. So placing a special character at end of every character string, that is a main advantage of a string. In this manner, the function can then determine for itself when it has reached the end of the string. That character is also called as the end of the string after the encounters these special characters. In the C language, the special character that is used to indicate end of the string is known as a null character and is written as a /0. So now just see my previous example, character word, there is no special character at the end. But here there is one special character which is appended at the end, and that character is called as a null character. So we can easily observe, here is your array. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can easily observe there are total 7 characters in the array. In this particular one, only 6 characters are there. Okay. So when we are going to say the string the string size is always +1 because there is a one special character which is appended at the end of the string. Okay, so this particular one is a simple function to calculate the size of the string, length of the string, and always we are going to check it out the end of the string by using the special character. That one is a /0, or it is called as a null character. By default, this character is defined in stdio and also in stdlib header file. Okay, so we can easily observe how to get the string. So main important thing, this particular one is a string. In a string, so all characters are in a group and those are mainly encoded by double quote. Okay, there is a difference. Just see, here is a double quote, here is a single quote. So when I'm going to say a character always having a single quote. And when I'm going to say the string, it always having a double quote. So the null string, so character empty. This particular one is a null string, but by default, it's going to contain one character. That character is a /0. Okay, likewise, you can declare a long string. Likewise, there's no issue. You can concatenate two string. This particular one is a separate string. This particular one is a separate string. Okay, so here also programming. So this is a good example. In a printf itself, you can use multiple strings. So just see, this one is a basic question, and when you people going to face an interview, so many times expert going to ask you, so what is the difference between double quote x and single quote x? Okay, what is the basic difference between double quote x and single quote x? When I'm going to say that the character constant single quote x, it means it's only equivalent value of the x, ASCII equivalent value of the x. But when I'm going to say that double quote x, that time it's having two characters. One is x, another one is null character. But when I'm going to say that single x, it's only having the single quote character. So this is the basic difference. Here is only one character. There are two characters. One is single quote x and single quote /0. This one is a null character. All these are escape sequences. Those are also characters, and already we people going to face this all escape sequences. We are not interested in this particular one at this moment. Okay, now we know that there is a conversion specifier. %C is a conversion specifier mainly used for the character. But when I want to scan a string, there is a special conversion specifier. There is a %S to scan the string. Even to print the string, there is a conversion specifier %S. Okay, so we are not interested in all those things. So there are some functions which we are going to see laterwards. Now we are going to start with our first program. For that particular purpose, we need, for this particular purpose, we are going to use here the special software. That particular one is nothing but the code block. I think you people are already aware about this particular one. Okay. So always prefer code block. In last lecture, I have already told how to install the code blocks, how to use the code block. Okay. So here we are going to create a new project. Always select a console application. Then next, select C language. Next. So create one folder. Always try to write down your programs in a separate folders. Select the folder. Give name to that project, string. Just say next. Finish. Open your source. Open your main. So main important thing here. Here we are going to write down the program, and we are going to see here what we needed. Okay. Our first practical, these are the different IDs which we can use. Here we are going to prefer the code block. It's 99% people going to prefer the code block. ID is integrated development environment in which you can uh, write down the code, you can create the code, you can modify the code, you can simulate the code, and second main important thing, we can debug the code. Okay, so that's the major benefit of the IDE. Okay, so these are there are in this particular new syllabus, the whole thing is divided into different groups. We are going to perform the first practical from the group A is nothing but the perform following string operation with and without pointers to array. So main important thing here, I am going to explain you how to write down the program without pointers, then how to convert that particular program with pointer. Simple things, and I'm going to tell you how to write down the program step by step. Okay. So here we want to perform, these are the various operations. Substring means there is a main string, we are going to find out the substring in that particular one. Palindrome is nothing but the concept in which when we are going to read the string from left to right and right to left, both are the equal. That string is called as a palindrome, like word madam, M-A-D-A-M. So when we are going to read the word madam from left to right and right to left, it is the same. Then we are going to compare the string. Then we are going to copy one string into another one. And next one is a reverse of the string. These are the 5 different operations which we are going to see here. Okay. Okay, there are 3 groups. From group C, there is any one operation. Okay. So we are going to see here the first one. So perform following string operation with and without pointers to array without using library function. By default, there is a library functions in your C language, string, substring, palindrome, compare, copy, and reverse. Okay, this is the first procedure. How we are going to do the things. So first main important thing, this is the procedure. Okay, so how to perform the program. So here is a substring. So there is a 2 string. One is a string, second one is a substring, and we are going to start from I is equals to 0, j is equals to 0. So I is a pointer for the str, j is a pointer for sub str, and there are, we know that there are different iterative loops. One is while, second one is a for, next one is a do while. So what I want to do here, every time when I always tell my students how to write down the program. So every time we're going to write down the menu-driven program, and there's a magic when we're going to write down those programs. Okay, so here always we're going to check it out whether the first character of the first string is equals to character of the substring. If yes, then increment I and j. All otherwise there is no need to increment I and j. And end of the substring, then substring found. If it is no, then only increment I, don't increment the j. Okay, so this particular one is the first simple program. So we are going to write down that particular one. Before that one, I want to just explain you the program. Okay, I'm having a 2 string. One is a S1 having PVG COE, S2 having COE. COE is my substring. I want to search that particular substring in PVG COE. So what is going to happen? I'm going to use here one pointer. First pointer is I'm going to call it is a I. Second one is, there is a second pointer, that one is called J. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it out. The content at the I is equals to content at J. If it is not, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to just increment I. Now I will move to the second location. I'm not going to increment the J. Okay, again I'm going to compare the content at the index I is equals to content at the index J. No, then just ignore it. Increment I, go to the next. Okay, So if again I am going to check it out, if it is equal no, then again I am going to increment. Now I am going to check it out. The content at the I equals to j, yes, then increment I, j, then increment j. Now my j is also incremented. Okay, increment I. I am going to check likewise. Okay, equal, then again increment j. Okay, so I is here. And I am always going to check it out whether I reach at the end of the substring. If it is reached, then just break the code. There is no need to bother about. And substring is found. That is the simple concept here. Okay. Second main important thing, if my S1 is PVG COE and S2 is something like NSK. And I am going to check it out whether these are equal. So what's going to happen? My J is pointing at this particular point and my I is pointing at P. Equal, both are not equal, then I is incrementing and it's going to end till end. And if it is not found, I should present the message substring is not found. So we're going to see those things in a practical. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down the program in terms of functions. So my first program is for the substring. The return type, I'm going to check it out. My string is substring is found or not. So I always going to take the return type as an integer, because if it is 1, it is a true. If it's 0, it is a false. Function of the string means name of the function. First letter should be capital. I am going to write down substring. Now the main important thing, I'm going to pass two things. I'm going to pass two different variables to my function. The first variable is character. We're going to write down here program by using array. That's why square bracket. Square represent the array. Second one is character. Okay. At the end, there's a semicolon. Main important thing we miss here to write down the title of the program. So slash dollar, the program for various string operations. At the end, star slash. Okay. So this is my first. I am going to write down here the comment to understand latter words. Declaration of substring function. Okay. So integer main printf hello world. I'm going to remove this particular thing. I don't need this particular thing here. Okay. So what I need two arrays of character type. So I am going to declare here character. Okay. The first one is str square bracket 100. I'm going to declare one array. Second one is sub str. Again, size is 100. Okay. So I have just selected two character array. One is str. Second one is sub str. Okay. If you want to store a string, then also you need a character array. There is no data type string. There is a data type character. And string is nothing but the advanced version of the character array. Okay. So I need two character array. Then I need two things. One is integer type. One is I case for the switch case. Second one I needs I result. Okay. These are the two variables which I am going to use here. Second main important thing, don't try to run the whole program. Always when you're going to write down anything, you can just check it out here. Just check build. If any error is there, there are warnings. There is no errors. There are 4 warnings that I have declared 4 different variables and I haven't used those variables. Okay, so when you're going to write down a single line, always try to compile it. So if there is any error on that particular line, that will be clear at that particular moment itself. Okay, I'm going to write down do while. I'm going to try to write down the program by using do while. Okay, so here we're going to understand some basic difference concept. This program is called as a menu driven program. So we are going to write down the menu. We know that in our practical, we need to perform these 5 different operations. So we are going to ask user which operation you want to perform. Either you want to perform substring, you want to perform palindrome, you want to perform compare, you want to perform copy, you want to perform reverse. So we are going to present those things to the user. So in this particular one, we are going to write down here printf. It is very simple /n. So now this particular one is a menu. So we are going to write down here string menu. You can make your program. You can represent your program very well in a graphical way. So here we are going to write down. It's in a good graphical way. Printf. Okay. My first choice /n. So one dot. I'm going to show the choice to the user. First one is substring. Right. Then printf. You can write down on a single line also. There is no issue at all. /n. Second choice palindrome. Printf. /n. Third one is compare. Anything you're having any doubt, you can ask. Unmute your mic and you can ask, so we can clear those concepts here itself. Fourth one is copy. Printf /n. Fifth one is reverse. Initially we need some time. Laterwards it is very simple to write down the program. And last one is there. When we are going to write down the menu driven program, to end the program we need last case. That one is a exit. All otherwise it's in a loop. /n 6.1 exit from the last one. So here now we have written here the do. So at the end we should write down here while in bracket I case is not equal to 6. 6 नसेल तोपर्यंत हा लूप मध्ये राहील. तोपर्यंत तो 6 होत नाही तोपर्यंत तो लूप मध्ये राहील. Now we can build code. We are having those 4 warnings. Don't bother about those warnings. Always check for the errors, 0 errors. I am going to run my program. So now it's in a loop. Why? Because I am not going to scan any thing from the user. That's why it's in a loop. But it's working. Okay. Now we're going to ask user printf /n. Enter your choice. Okay. Then scanf. Already you people gone through all those things. %d is a conversion specifier for integer. Ampersand I case. Okay. So we can verify this particular one. Okay, build, run, check it out. Now my program is halt because it's asking for your choice. My choice, now I haven't taken anything. I'm going to put the 6. Enter. Code is ended. Now my code is working fine till this particular point. Okay. So you can compare like this. You can do your programming. Now I am going to use here the switch case. Okay, I case. So whatever the notation I am going to write down here, all those are Hungarian notation types. Okay, I case, I is integer type, case is my name of that particular variable. In a switch case, my first case 1 colon. So what I am going to do here, I'm going to do here the main important thing. I'm going to scan 2 strings from the user, which I am going to search second string from the first string. So I'm going to ask user printf /n, enter your string, enter first string. Okay, so I'm going to show you the main important thing here, scanf. What is scanf? I'm going to show you %s. For the string, there is a %s. Like other conversion specifier, we are going to use here ampersand, but for string there is no need to write down the ampersand. By default, str is the address of the array, first address. That's why there is no need to write down ampersand. So I'm going to write down str, right? Then I'm going to print whatever the string I have scanned from the user. I want to display to the user what you have entered. So printf /n user enter string. Why? Because I am going to tell you later words why we need this particular thing. Then, so you can put here also, no issue, %s, comma, str. Okay. So we are going to check it out whether that particular one is working or not. Okay. Okay, 0 errors, always check error. Don't bother about the warnings. Now warnings are, just check it out. Previously those are 4. Now they are showing these 2 things are not used. Then run your program. I'm going to say substring 1 choice. It's going to ask enter first string. I'm going to say that Manoj. I'm going to enter here my whole name. What's going to happen? Check it out. What's happened? It has scanned my whole string and it's going to show only Manoj, Vasan, Bhalerao. Not it's going to show whole string. So there is a major problem in this particular one. When I'm going to use %s, it's not going to scan white spaces. White spaces means spacebar, /n, /t. It's not going to scan. So to overcome this particular problem, there is one another thing. That one is provided in a C itself. You can use functions. There's one special function. Now it's having a limitation. Limitation is like this: you cannot scan spacebar. So to overcome this particular one, there is a function. Function name is, always use this particular function, getS. There is a function for string. To scan string with white spaces, there is a function getS. Okay. So if I am going to scan through the getS, it's going to scan the characters, each and every character. But again, you cannot display those by using %s. Same limitation is there. So I'm going to remove those things here, and I'm going to use the special function for that particular one is put s. And the same main important thing. Okay, again we're going to check it out. It's working or not. Okay, 0 errors. Just run this particular one. Choice 1. I'm going to now just see there is second problem. Are you observe that particular problem? When I enter 1, it's not going to scan the strings. Control automatically goes outside. Why? The main important thing is here. If you want to scan a character after integer or float, what's going to happen when we're going to scan the any other data types except the character? The first one is the integer, float, and then character. What's going to happen? Whatever your enter key, now that particular one is stored in a buffer, and that's why it's not going to scan that particular variable. That's why you have to use here one special function at the start. The function name is flush. You can just clear the buffer, flush. Okay, standard input buffer. Flush, we know that we're going to flush it out. So now just check it out. 0 errors. Choice number 1. I'm going to write down your string. Now just see, it's showing me whole string with spaces. That is the beauty of the C language. Okay, so I have just scanned the first string. Now I'm going to scan the second string. Right, enter second substring. name is substr. Okay, so now we have scanned the strings. Now we are going to check it out whether that string is present or not. Our function name is substring. Which thing we are going to pass here? str and substr. At the end, then I'm going to check it out. If I result, I already told in the start itself, if result is positive, string is found equals to 1, printf /n substring found. Else printf /n substring is not found. Okay, semicolon is missing here. Semicolon. Okay, so check it out. What's going to be happen now? There is an error. I haven't written the definition for this particular one, so just check it out. Build. Now there is an error. It's going to tell you that substring is not available. Okay, so return one exit status. So I need to write down this particular one definition of substring function. So here below, the return type is integer. My function name is substring. Okay, so I need 2 character array. So I am going to write down character. So my first one is X array. Second one is character Y square bracket. So I need 2 character array. There is no semicolon at the end. Okay, here I am going to write down the definition. Okay, so what's going to be happen? Whatever str here, that one is copied into X. Whatever sub str is here, that one is copied into Y. So it is very simple now. So I need to travel through my array. So now whatever your procedure going to be start here. So one is string, second one is a substring. So I need 2 variables. One variable is I, second variable is j. I is called as an iterative variable, j is iterative variable. I is mainly for string, j is for substring. So I am going to check it out whether my program going to be work. So I am going to search here both string. Okay, I am going to, it's not both string. I am going to travel through both string. The first string, if character found, I am going to continue. If it's not found, again I am going to start with the substring from 0. Every time this is going to be happen. Okay, and at the end while end procedure. This particular one is an algorithm. Okay, and you need to write down this particular algorithm in your file. Okay, so how to implement that particular algorithm? That is the main important thing here. So we need 2 variables, integer type, I equals to 0, a equals to 0. The same procedure which we are going to implement here. Then we want to write down here while. Okay, in while we need a terminating condition. At one particular point, your program should be end. If it is not going to end, in that particular case, what's going to be happen? It will go in an infinite loop. So terminating condition should be there in your program. So I'm going to write down x in square bracket I is not equals to null character, my end character. It's not equals to null character. Okay, what's going to happen? If it is not, then it's going to enter in a while loop. If it is equals to 0, it's going to end. Second main important thing here, ampersand, ampersand. Both case should be true. Means there should be both string should be valid. Then and then only you can enter. If it is not valid, then anyone it's end, then just stop your program, come out from the while loop. That's why. Why? for that y there is a traversal using by j is not equals to in single quote slash 0. Okay, there is no semicolon at the end of file. Okay, so now check it out in our procedure. Now what we want to do here, we are going to check it out. So at index I, the content is equals to at index j in a substring. Okay, so same thing we are going to write down here. If in a round bracket x of I equals to y of j. Okay, so you can put here the spaces, and if this particular one is true, then increment I plus plus semicolon j plus plus. If it is not valid, not equal, then we want to increment I, but we don't want to increment j. I plus plus and j equals to 0. Okay, what's happened? We found the first character, but we haven't found the second character. Then why should we continue from the next one? So we should come back to the initial level of the substring. Okay, now this particular one is done. So it's going to check it out whether your string is found or not. So we are going to come outside. Now just see, we want to send the result whether string is found or not. So here in this particular one, so just try to understand. If I is moving, same j is moving. So if it is not found, the by default j is at initial level. It is not the at last character. We know that it's the last character in every string, that is /0. Okay. So if string is found, by default your j is at last character. That is your null character. By default there is a character, that one is called as a null character in a string. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it out whether it is at a last character, because here I'm not going to get it with merit j. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down here if y of j, what I'm going to check it out, y of j is at end character. If it is at end character, just return 1. Why return 1? 1 is for true, so return 1. Else return return 0. Okay, this is simple function. Whatever the procedure you have seen here, that one is written in a C language. So I'm going to check it out whether it's working. Check it out, 0 warning, 0 errors. Now my one function is ready to work, and I'm going to check it out whether it's working or not. My first choice, substring. My name is Dev. Okay, my substring is Manoj. Check it out. Substring is found. Again, I am going to repeat the procedure for second thing, Manoj. Okay, I am going to check it out for the Vasant, whether it is working for the Vasant in between string. Just check it out. Substring is found. Again, choice 1. I'm going to check it out for the last one. Yes, substring is found. Now I'm going to check it out for the false condition. And I'm going to check it out, Tanuja. So now check it out. Substring is not found. So my program is working very well. So I don't need to bother about the other things. Okay. So my first function is working. Don't try to graph. Don't try to write down the full program in one stroke. Always try to write down your program in a short terms, and it is very easy to understand. Now I'm going to exit from my code. The second concept which we are going to learn here, that one is called as a palindrome. So what I mean by the palindrome? So in palindrome, if I am going to write down any string, I want to read from the left to right. So now this particular one is a string, madam. If I am going to write down from left to right, the M-A-D-A-M, madam. And if I am going to read from the right to left, it should be the same. That one is called as a palindrome concept in a string. So in a comment box, please try to write down the any another words. That particular one should be called as a palindrome. You come across that particular word. So what I am going to do here, I want to write down a program that whatever the string I have entered, that particular one is a palindrome or not. So okay, what we want to do here now, it is very simple one to do here. What I am going to do, I am going to take 2 pointers. Okay, what I am going to do here, I'm going to take 2 pointer. One I will start from the first letter. Second one I will start from the last letter. I'm going to check it out. This letter is equal to this letter. If S, then I is incremented. J is decremented. Okay, same going to be happen. And this one is a simple program for the palindrome. We are not going to modify so many things. We are only going to understand how it's going to be work. Okay, so just check it out. In this particular one, I need 2 array. For palindrome, I only need 1 array. So I'm going to write down here the declaration for the palindrome. So return type is integer. Palindrome. How many array I need? Only 1 array I need. At the end, semicolon. This particular one is called as a declaration. Palindrome of string. Okay. Friends, I don't having any write-ups in front of you. I'm going to do the programming in front of you itself. And again, there are so many logics. Whatever logics I am going to explain, that one is a simple logics. If you are going through the books, in every book there's a different logic. So don't bother about that particular things. Always try to, whatever you know, just try to implement it. There's no issue at all. Okay, so we are just write down here the palindrome. So what we are going to write down here, we are going to write down the second case. But always keep in our mind, at the end there should be a break. After end of any every case, there should be the break. So what I am going to write down here, I am going to write down case 2. So what I am going to do here, so we know that we are having already written samples here. We are going to copy that particular sample. We are going to paste here. Okay, so we don't need multiple strings, so we are going to remove this particular one. We don't need to write down enter string. Okay, now here we are going to use palindrome. And we need only 1 string. We don't need multiple string. Now it is very simple, and it's a string is palindrome. So we're only going to modify. Please note down different palindrome you know. So we are going to test here whatever you have written in comments. Okay. So this particular one is now my second case. Is not palindrome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down here the definition of palindrome. Yes, return type is integer. My function name is palindrome. What I need 1 character array X. What I need 2 traversal variables integer I, J, semicolon. Okay, you can say I equals to 0. There is no need to declare J. So what we want to do in my string, in this particular case, what I want to do, I want to travel to the end of the string. Where I want to travel? I is starting from the first location, but J is starting from the last location. So what I should do here? What I should do, I will travel through the whole string. How to travel? While X of J is not an end character. Is not an end character. End character is nothing but in single quote /0. Okay. And what you want to do here? J plus plus. There is no need to do anything. I'm going to just travel through. I don't want to display that particular things here. Now my J is at last character. When it is going to end, by default J is pointing this last character, but I want to point which character? This character. I know that this is my last character /0. Now by default, when I am going to travel through my string, that time J is pointing this last character. So I don't want this particular one. That's why J minus minus. When you came outside this particular while loop, it should be J minus minus. Okay, it's very simple one. Now second while loop. Now this particular one, now my J is pointing last character, I is pointing first character, and I want to perform here the palindrome. So now just see here the procedure. What I'm going to do here, now whatever the procedure written here, we are not going to bother about these things. We are not interested in this particular thing. We are interested in this particular procedure. Here you can change your conditions. Whatever condition you want to write down, write down. Now just see here, I is equals to 0, J is equals to n minus 1. Now this particular procedure is written for fixed string. Now whatever the program we are writing, those all are user defined. Means whatever data we have entered, we don't know the size. That's why we have traveled through the string. Okay. So in this particular one, we are going to check it out. First character is equals to last character. If S, I plus plus, J minus minus. Okay, string is palindrome. And if string is not palindrome, end while end procedure. Now how to check it, that particular one. So in this particular one, we check it out. So what I'm going to do here, I want to check it out my terminating condition. How to check it out? Check it out the terminating condition. I is incremented. It's coming here. Now just see in this particular one, this terminating condition is a different one, and we're going to do that particular one is a different one. Okay. In this particular one, J is decremented, I is incremented, J is decremented. Now at one particular point, I and J will be the equal. Okay. We are going to find out that particular point. Okay. How many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if it equal, J will be decremented, I will be incremented. If decremented, this will be incremented. At one particular point, I and J will be equal. Okay. In that particular point, we are going to break the string, our while loop. At this particular point, we are going to break our while loop. So how to break it out? So either you write down here x of j, x of I is not equals to in single quote /0. Okay, it's a normal condition. Then what we are going to do here, if simple thing, if x of I, just see the logic, equals to x of j. If it is true, then what we want to do, I plus plus j minus minus, right? Repeat. If it is not true, then else, then break your code. What we want to do here, just break your loop. Okay. Then if this particular one is true, how to check it out whether string is palindrome or not? So this is the main important thing here. What we are did, I is incremented, J is decremented. So if it is a palindrome, what's going to happen? J will be 0 at the last stage. J will be 0 if the string is my palindrome. Okay. So if J equals to 0, return 1. You can write down here different logics. There is no issue. You can check it out. I equals to J. Here also you can put I equals to J, and you can break. In that particular case also it works. Else return 0 or -1. You can return -1 also. There is no issue at all. So we are going to check it out. 0 warning, 0 errors. We are going to run. Here we are going to test the second case. I am going to write down. Now just see the case sensitive. Everything should be in a small case. Okay, there is a user interesting. It's not going to the function. Okay, we're having some problem. Palindrome, it's right. It's here. I equals to j. J. Yes, here we should start j from 0. That's why that error is there. Second palindrome. Okay. So, madam, string is not palindrome. Equals to. We can put any simple condition from which we can get the right answer. Okay, string is palindrome. Second choice. We are going to put the string is not palindrome. Okay, so you have put any string in your chat box. Yes, race car is there, right? Radar is there, right. All these things you can check it out in our program. Okay, second choice, radar. Yes, radar is palindrome. So it's showing you the result. Likewise, you can do the so many things. Okay, rotator is good. So you're having so many things. I is there, level is there, so many things, good things. Okay, so the next one is compare. Now here we want to compare the two strings. Now what mean by the compare? Okay, so here we're going to check it out. Whatever the first string is same as the second string. If it is not same, then we're going to flash message strings are not matching. So you can easily observe whatever your substring program, the same is here. Just check it out. Yes, same is here. Only small changes there. Here I is incrementing, j is incrementing, and what I am going to do, I am going to check it out whether it is the end of string for the both. If it is true, then strings are equal. If both are not equal, then there is no need to bother about. Okay, so strings are not matching. Okay, it's very simple. So string compare is a simple like your substring. So we are going to write down that particular one. Simple program is there. Last two are the very simple one. So now palindrome is also working. Return type is integer. Now what we want to do here? String compare. Character. Now I need two strings. Now my third key is a compare. At the end there should be a semicolon. Yes, declaration. Okay. So whatever my first case, I'm going to copy that particular case and I'm going to just modify that particular case after the palindrome. This particular case is case number 3. So you can check it out. The errors in my program, those are very less than the all. Why? Because I am having that particular practice to do the programming. Okay. So don't bother about this particular thing. So when you're going to write down multiple times program, you're easily going to understand. It is very simple to do the programming. Okay, so this particular one is now instead of sub, it should be a second string, which I want to compare here. Okay. Here the function name is compare. Okay, whatever as it is there. So here the message we are going to change. Strings are equal, strings are not equal. Strings are not equal. So it is very simple one. So whatever the program I have written for the substring, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to use that particular program, and I'm going to show there's a small changes. There's no botheration about that particular one. So instead of substring, I'm going to write down here compare. So here it is very simple one. I'm going to check it out whether it's end of first string or second string. Now there's no issue at all. You can anyone going to be end, program should be the break. So what I'm going to check it out, if these are equal I plus plus j plus plus, if there is no equality, then just break the code. Then there should be break the code. Simple. If now I'm going to check it out this particular case. For while loop, what I have done here, not equal. Now I'm going to check it out. Both are at the last. It's simple one. Instead of not equal, you just write down equal. Same here. This is my end check. Whether my program has checked all the cases, all the characters, and at the end, this particular character is there. If that my I is representing this particular character, J is representing this particular character, it means my both strings are equal. If it is no case, then strings are not equal. So simple one, program is over. There is no need to bother about other things. Simple program, just build, zero warning, zero errors, run. Case number 3, compare. My first string is, just see, you can use without space, no issue. Same, I'm going to write down. Just see, strings are equal. These are the big strings. We are going to again check it out. First string, second string. Strings are not equal. Now it is very simple to write down. Only main important thing to understand the first part. Now it's very simple. Now I want to write down the program for copy. What I want to do, I want to copy one string to the other string. Now there are also, for copy there are different cases, but main important thing here, we are only going to write down the case for, yes, case for at the end. Now in this particular one, I think in this palindrome is there. Okay, in this particular one, compare is there, but I don't found there is a copy case. Okay, in copy, there are 3 cases, but we are only going to see the only one case at the end of the string. First string, we are going to write down the second string. There are 3 cases. One is at the start of the string, at the middle of the string, at the end of the string. So instead of that particular one, we are going to write down, copy the string at the end of the first string. So that particular one is nothing but that one is also called as concatenation. You can concatenate. All other ways, you can write down the second string at the first. Okay, that also good thing. So we're going to check it out here. Which one is a good? Okay. So what we do? We're going to see all those 3 cases also. If you want to see, all other ways we can do. We're going to write down at the first. Okay. So what I'm going to do, whatever the case number 3, I'm going to copy as this particular one as it is, and I'm going to paste. Now this particular case is my 4th case. Case is F flush, enter first string, enter second string. Okay, now the function for that particular one is copy. in code block, it is very easy to do the programming when you want to do the copy paste, copy string, because already copy is inbuilt function, declaration for copy string. What I'm going to do here in my case 4, I'm going to change the function. Okay. Instead of compare, I want to modify this particular function as a copy str. Okay. So if you are interested to display 3 cases to the user, you can do here also do and while. All otherwise, what we are going to do in first string, we are going to start to put the characters from the first location itself. So what I'm going to do, if anyone going to be in, not like this. What we want to do here, we want to copy second string into first string. That's why this case is going to be changed. Y of j is not equals to end of the string. Now here, what we are going to do, I'm going to modify this particular thing. Okay. So we don't need to write down this particular thing also. We are going to write down here return type should be void because we are going to display the string here itself. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to copy the contents of y of j at x of I. X of I equals to y of j. Then end I plus plus, then j plus plus. Okay. So it's going on. How many times? Till end of the second string. Then at the last, when it is going to find out the last characters, so we don't want to change that particular character. Okay. Then what we are going to do here, we are going to printf. We are going to show user that string is copied, and we are going to display that particular message. Put s कशी कॉपी केली ती आपण दाखवून देऊ. त्याच्यामध्ये ती स्ट्रिंग आता x मध्ये, right? So it's very simple. At the end, always keep a practice to write down a return. Don't need to return anything. Same changes we need to do in our here also. It's not going to return anything. That's why it is void. Same in your case 4. Do the changes. There should not be return type. Just remove this particular thing. Just remove all those things because we are not going to return anything. Okay, because string going to copy automatically. There is no issue at all. We are having lots of space. Okay, so check it out. Is there any error? Yes, there is error. What is error? Just check it out. The error is expected semicolon, and that should be here. Okay. Now build the program. Okay, the case is copy. 4th number case. First string is okay. Second string is Sanuja. Now take it out. My string is copied at first location. Okay. If you want to write down at the end, you can do it. No issue at all. So string is copied and Sanuja Bhalerao. Now it is like this. Now just see MANOJ 5 words, Sanuja having the 6 word. That's why this space is also occupied by the Sanuja. Okay. So if you want to copy at the end, so you can do it. This particular case is there. If you want to write down at the end, then I'm going to just write down the same code again for your curiosity only. Okay, don't bother about this particular one. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this particular one as a comment. At the end, either you can use this particular code or you can use this particular code. In this particular case, if you want to copy the string at the end, what you can do, you can just travel through the first string. How to travel? We know that while the first string is x of I is not equals to, yes, single quote /0. Okay, then I plus plus, no issue at all. Okay, then what I am going to do, while y of j is not equals to /0, I am going to copy the I plus plus j plus plus. It's going to put there. Okay, and at the end of this particular while loop, there should be I minus minus. So just see, I haven't put it here the curly braces. Why? Because below while only single statement is there, then there is no need to write down the plus plus. Okay. Okay. Again, this particular thing is also not needed. Okay, this is sufficient. Then at the end, when you are going to copy the whole string, what we need to do now, I is incremented. So x of I, we need to put the special character because this particular special character is overwritten by the first character of the second string. That's why we should write down here that particular last character. That is nothing but the single quotes null character /0 and just say semicolon. Now this is the modified function when you want to enter the string at the end. Okay, so the case is fourth. I want to copy the string. Now my name is Manoj. Second string is Bhalerao. What is going to happen? Check it out. So string is copied at the end of first string. Okay, my program is working. It's very fine and it's very good. So my first string Manoj is going to end here. The second string will start from that particular one and it's going to end at the latter words. So you can easily observe. Now I have written two different programs. One program in this particular one, I have copied the first string, second string at the start of the first string. In second case, I have just copied the second string at the end of the first string. So you can do likewise. There is no issue at all, and total logic is depends on the user. How user going to interpret the things. Okay. So the last function is pending. That particular function is a reverse of the string. So what I want to do, whatever the string I have copied from, written from the left to right, I just want to now reverse that particular one is right to left. Now there is a very good concept, stack. You can do the things by using stack also, no issue at all. All otherwise, we are going to write down simple program without stack. Stack is a stack having two functions, push and pop. When you are going to push the string over the stack and then you are going to pop out the string, by default it is in a reverse. So now that particular concept, I think that concept is not covered in a class. That's why we are going to with the conventional method. That one is shown here. Okay. Again, whatever this terminating condition used here, we are not interested in that particular one. We can use our own. Okay, no issue at all. Okay. So last function. Now just see, these are the two functions. I'm going to share you the program with you peoples. Try to write down your own program. Whatever the logics I have used, when you are going to check it out your books, maybe there are different logics. Whatever I have written, those are simple logics. Okay. So last topic we want to cover here, that particular one is the reverse of the string. Again, there's a return type void. There is no need to write down. Second main important thing which I want to say here, you can display message in function or you can display in a main, no issue, because here we are going to use array. When you are going to pass an array, by default you are going to pass the address, and that's why whatever changes you are going to do in a function, all those changes are automatically done in your main. I will show you that particular things also here. So here also I'm going to pass single string. I'm not going to pass multiple strings here. reverse string. Now whatever the palindrome case, we're going to copy that particular case. We don't need all those things. Uh, Friends, I'm going to copy the content because it is not possible to write down each and everything every time. But when you're going to do a programming, you always try to type whole program. Why? Because I having a much more practice, so I doesn't bother about these particular things. You can easily observe when you are going to write down the same program in your computer, there may be lots of errors. Mainly those are the man-made errors or the typing errors, typo errors. But for me, I having good practice over this particular one, so there is no mostly the minimum errors are in my program, mostly zero errors. So you try to write down the whole program, so that will be the good practice. This particular one is a case number 5. F plus standard in enter string, user enter string, and now here there is no return type. You can say the reverse. Okay. Okay. At the end there should be a break. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down the function for the reverse string. Return type is void. Function name is reverse. So what I need, one character array, the name of the array is X. Curly braces. I need two variable I equals to 0, comma j equals to 0, semicolon. What I want to do, I want to reverse the string. So whatever things we have done in a palindrome, the same is here. Whatever I'm going to select here the one string. Suppose I'm going to say a pbg coe. So I want whatever I'm going to read from left to right. I want to write down this particular one in a reverse manner. E O C G V P. So this is simple function. So what I will do, I will take one pointer from this particular side, another one this particular side. I think you people heard the word swapping. Last lecture we are already saying how to swap the contents. What I am going to do, I am going to swap the P and E. My I is here, J is here. What I am going to do, I am going to swap the contents. Same likewise. And when my J is less than I am going to terminate the program. It's very simple fundamentals. I'm going to check it out whether J is less than I. If when J is going to become less than I, I'm going to terminate the program. It is very simple one, and I can display that particular thing here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I want to travel to the end of the string. So there is again while x of j is not my last character, is not equals to single quote slash 0, right? J plus plus. So this will go to the end of the string, and this particular one is my last character. That's why j minus minus. So I should be, when I am going to travel, that time it will goes always to the last character. So I don't interested in this particular character. So I will come back. That's why when j is at this particular one, j minus minus come to the previous state. Okay. So what I am going to do now here, I am going to write down while simple case. Now what j is greater than I, because I is at 0 and j is at last character. So what I will do, I will put here case that I is greater than j. Sorry, I is less than j. Till I is less than j, program will run. All otherwise program will going to break. Okay. What I will do, I need one additional character. That character I am going to take one character j for the swapping purpose. All otherwise you can do at your own, no issue at all. What I will do in this particular case, yes, the first main important thing, I will copy content at the I into z. So z equals to x of I. Then now I'm going to copy the content at j into the at the location of content I, x of j. This is called as a swapping. Then x of j equals to z. It is very simple one. First, the x of I content. Okay, we are going to see here. So this particular one is I. So z going to become initially p. Then x of I going to become e. Then now this will be e. Then x of okay, this particular one is I. This will be going to become p because we are going to copy the contents of j. So this will be the swap, these two contents. Okay, and at the end it's going to be end. So no issue. So you can print it. You can display the message. So while loop is end. Sorry. Here we need two another things. Now this particular one is a swapping. Now we want to increment I. We want to decrement j. I plus plus comma j minus minus. Okay. Printf /10 viewer string. Yes. Put x. Okay. And at the end, I'm going to return. Put the word return. Check it out. How many errors? Yes, 0 errors. No issue at all. Case number 5. My PVG COA. Let's check it out. It's working. Right. The string is reverse. Second main important thing which I want to show here. If I don't want, not interested to display this particular message here, just remove this particular one. You can display that particular thing in the main program itself, no issue. So after this particular one also you can put, instead of x, you need to write down here str. Okay. 0 errors. Case number 5. When you are going to play with the array, no issue at all. Whatever the things you are going to do, those will be automatically, whatever things you are going to do in a function, by default, those done in your main also, no issue. So this particular one is a case number 6. Now in a switch case, there is a default case is also there. Now what's going to happen, we are shown to the user, there are only 6 choices. But some people, what they are going to do, they are going to test whether instead of 1 to 6, they are going to enter something else. So we can put here the default case to tell user that whatever the choice, if that not in between 1 to 6, then we should display here the error message. There is a default case. Printf /n error. We are going to display wrong choice. Okay, this is when a default. If no case from anyone from the above, then it's going to display a default case. I'm going to run the program. Now just see there are only 6 choices, and if I'm going to write down 8, what's going to happen? Error, wrong choice. Same thing. If you want to write down anything, if I'm going to enter 10, then also it is a wrong choice. If I'm going to put the right choice, let's see, it is a reverse string. So now it is a menu-driven program, and it's very simple to work with the menu-driven program. Always try to write down the program using a menu-driven. There is a fun in a C to do such a things. So this is the first part of the program. This is a half part actually. So I try to cover each and everything in this particular program. If you're having any doubts, you just put in a comment so we can test that particular things in this particular session. So you're having any doubts in any function or any things which should I cover here? Are you having any doubts? Any particular thing you want to cover in this particular session rather than practical? Even you can do this particular program on your mobile also, no issue at all. If you want to take do that particular one, you can do, no issue. So if you are interested, so already it's 1:30 and I already heard that you are busy with another session. So what we do here, we stop here. In next time, I will two things we need to change in that through that particular also we can take the sub part of this particular program is by using uh, pointer. I think that pointer is not covered in a class. If it is covered, then it is very simple to understand. Yeah, on next Saturday we will cover that particular part also. Okay, madam. Any doubts?
Okay, sir. नाही. I think student has not posted anything.
नाही असतील तर आपण
बरोबर.
त्याला पण कव्हर करू शकतो. आणि पॉइंटरचा पार्ट आहे ना मॅडम, तो सिम्पल आहे. हाच प्रोग्राम फक्त एक 2-4 मध्ये चेंज होईल, काही त्याला करायची गरज नाहीये. आणि वाटलंच तर मी नेक्स्ट सॅटर्डेला तो पार्ट घेऊन मग पुढचं काहीतरी कव्हर अप करेल.
ठीक आहे चालेल, काही हरकत नाही. मी सांगतेच तुम्हाला, तोपर्यंत माझं झालं तर ठीकच आहे, नाही तर मग बघूयात आपण कसं हे होत आहे.
मॅडम मी हा जो कोड आहे ना तुम्हाला शेअर करतो, तुम्ही त्यांच्या मुलांना हवा येतो तर मी तुम्ही मुलांबरोबर शेअर करा. मी तुम्हाला कोर्स कोड तुम्हाला मी पाठवतो. आणि शक्य झालं तर मी सिम्युलेशन पण बघतोय, पूर्ण जर भेटत असेल तर ते पण शेअर करतो, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
बरं चालेल.
ओके, थँक्यू एव्हरीवन.
थँक्यू सर.
चालेल मॅडम, करू एंड मग मी.